Hi, my name's Emily Kelly, and this is my reflection for my portfolio project. So, the first question that is asked, or prompt that we are prompted to talk about, is to reflect on what we've learned as a result of our project. So, I've learned a lot of things, not only writing a memo on how to properly word things, how to work on my grammar skills in text citations, but also I learned a lot about my future career field, which is exciting. I learned what the nurse's post-surgical basic procedures are. So I learned about maintaining blood pressure, giving fluids. I've learned that not only do we maintain blood pressure, we push medications, we do our complete own patient assessment after post-op. We take directions from physicians of what medications they would like put in. And also, I've learned that most basic guides to our surgical information seem to lack some major things to me. And those major things are patient care that's based around their spirituality or their culture. I believe that nurses aren't only medical. I believe nurses are healers that heal through our emotions and a patient's specific spirituality. So getting to know your patient, I feel, is very, very important. If we had everything that was so impersonal and we weren't talking to our patients, I believe their outcomes and how they took care of themselves after surgery would be a lot worse than if we actually got to know them and cared about them and their family. We gave them more education and things like that for after their post-op. The information that I learned was great. The things that I would do differently about my portfolio project, though, is probably doing it on time. That sounds funny. I feel awful for not doing it on time. But I just had a lot of life situations come up. I'm not here to make excuses. That didn't allow me to bring up my portfolio project on time, and it was just ridiculous. And so I had to cram and try to do it fast. And so what I've learned out of this class was hindered by my ability to do things on time. Because I haven't been doing things on time, I don't think I took away as much from the class as I could have. I took away a lot. Memos are great. I'm definitely going to use them in my job I have now as an EMT and my future career as a nurse, because they're just going to draw a lot of attention. Rather than just your regular email, they're going to see, oh, memo, this is important. So that's what I'm really excited about there. So I'm going to move on to the prompt about identifying and explaining the course and institutional outcomes that were met by this project. So the first course outcome that I found is to prepare clear and concise computer-generated letters, memos, reports, and proposals. Well, the whole project fits under that because our project was a memo, and memos by nature are supposed to be clear and concise, short, to the point, sweet, understandable. So the next one is create written communications that promote positive interpersonal, intercultural, organizational, or international relations. Throughout my memo, I stress the importance of knowing the patient's cultural beliefs, and by knowing different beliefs, we can connect with them better and have better patient outcomes, and it benefits the hospital as well, having better patient satisfaction. The next outcome is delivering oral presentation, which is my reflection that I'm giving based on my presentation now, based on my portfolio project. After that is create various documents that demonstrate a student's intermediate skills in accessing, analyzing, and synthesizing research that shows significant depth of thought. So by synthesizing my different sources throughout my memo, I am reaching that goal. I'm thinking deeper than just the base information that they gave me. I use my deep thoughts, but I use the sources as the basic information, and then I deep digger after that. Dig deeper after that, excuse me. All right, and then the next one is produce a minimum of one substantial research-based assignment that shows significant depth of thought. That was my whole portfolio project. I started out with basic information, and then I went deeper and deeper and deeper by synthesizing my different sources together. Now, for my institutional outcomes, I'm just going to pick a couple instead of go through as many as I went through for my course outcomes. For institutional outcomes, I'm going to show how I use the quantitative and scientific reasoning. So, I did research, And through my research, I found percentages, numbers, and how patient satisfaction and nursing overturn, so how many nurses are hired and they go through each year, was decreased and patient satisfaction was increased. And I used percentages that I found online. Okay, so then the next institutional outcome I'm going to use is community and career. So I'm going to provide an example through which I was able to participate in social, learning, and professional communities for personal and career growth. So for personal and career growth, I learned about my future career, my nursing career, and I just fell in love with it all over again. I love connecting with people. I love showing that I care, and I love gaining new information about the career I want to go into. This just solidified the fact that I want to be a nurse, and I want to deal with post-op and ICU patients who are in critical care constantly. For my community, I believe that through the options that I put in to benefit the hospital, which is having a more personal relationship with your patients, which increases their morale, which helps them heal faster, and also having a better clinical guidelines that we go through to help post-op patients recover faster. Working together, we can get our patients out and recovered and home comfortably in shorter times. So I believe benefiting our community with that information would be healthier and happier people wanting to come to the hospital whenever they need to, hopefully avoiding serious complications and improving our community by boosting morale in these patients and just being happier overall. So finally, we get to how our course aligns with dependability, workplace capability. On the Brighton Stratton website, dependability is closely related to productivity. So that's the other Brighton Stratton goal that I'm going to tie in with it. It's basically questions such as, can your supervisor count on you? And through doing this course and project, it's going to give me better professionalism. And having better professionalism will help your employer trust you more. And being dependable, so if I gave them all these suggestions, this memo as to how to help them, and it actually did help, and it was based on evidence-based research, which gives them the dependability so that it's actually going to improve, not just be something that isn't reliable. And then becoming more productive in my workplace. By doing this and having this class and being more professional, I can make clear and concise memos. So instead of sitting down and writing a very long, drawn out email, I can write a short memo that gets across the point that I need to get across to my employer, therefore causing better productivity. As well as the information that I provided in my memo, it'll allow patients to go home sooner, which means more patients can come into those rooms, causing productivity to go up because our nurses are going to work happier and harder. And that's all I have for my reflection. Thank you so much.